Hi there, Second Lifers. Today I decided to try to explain something that I know can be confusing: the delicate recipe of ingredients that make up a Second Life avatar. Firstly, I sometimes get asked the question, why do I need to buy all of these things to make my avatar? The answer is, you do not truly have to. A base avatar requires a skin, a shape, a hair base, and an eye texture. You can make basic versions of all of these things right in your inventory. As you can see, this avatar is made up of complete items that I made. They are not that attractive, but it is a working avatar. Also, there are about 60 free starter avatars that you can use. You are not required to purchase anything to have an avatar. However, for those of us who prefer to make a custom avatar, this information that follows may be helpful. I raised two prims, a cube and a sphere, in an attempt to explain the difference between mesh components like a head or body and a shape. As you can see, both prims here are as they normally look, just with writing on them, which I only applied so that you can more easily see the two items and how they apply texture, which is akin to how skin gets applied differently. Every prim has a bunch of different settings like size, rotation, path cut, twist, and taper. So let's say I change the settings of those on the cube to make a more unique shape. But then I use the same values on the orb. You can see that semi-similar changes were made, but that the two prims are still not the same. This is because the mesh of each primitive defines its appearance almost as much as the settings do. In a simplified way, this is the same thing as the relationship between the mesh of your body parts and the shape defined by your slider values. For a more detailed demonstration, I photographed an avatar wearing the exact same shape with Maitreya, eBody Reborn, and Legacy male bodies. As you can see, all of the avatars look like adult human avatars. However, since this body was made for a female, the Maitreya looks a little skinny, and the male avatar may look a little extra curvy for being a male body. But the point is, though, that the shape sliders only tell part of the story. The mesh of your body or head tells the other half and determines how these sliders are interpreted. While it is possible to have smaller and larger proportions with any mesh body, it is important to demo your potential body to see that you can make it look like you are hoping. Another important thing to consider is that most designers do not make clothes for every possible mesh body. It is a good idea to check your favorite designers or even do a marketplace search to see how well supported the body you are considering is. A body that looks great, but that there is no clothing for, is of limited use. Similar can be said about heads to a lesser extent. If your choice of head does not support the common options like skin, makeup, beard, eyebrows, you may be limited with your customization choices. One common question I get asked is what to do if someone wants a new shape for their head but wants to keep their body the same. There are a couple of ways to handle this, but the easiest is to get a shape you like for your head and then go into Appearance and update the body sliders to match your old values. While there are 55 unique head sliders, there are only about 25 body sliders, and you can relatively easily make note of your values for the body sliders and just type them back in. That said, there is another way. You have the option to export your shape to XML, make edits or merge the files, and then re-import the shape. That is a valid method, but honestly, it is tricky even for those who understand XML well. There are about 1,000 parameters listed in the XML, most of which you won't touch. However, for those curious about what the XML looks like, I will place the information for my height slider below. As you can see, there are several variables, And the numbers don't necessarily match the slider the same way for each parameter. You may enjoy working with the XML, but for most of us, sliders are just easier. Another question I get is, can I use the same shape with a different head than advertised? The answer is, you should always demo, but yes. This group of photographs is the same avatar with the same shape, but a number of different mesh heads. You can see that the appearance of them is varied due to the mesh of the head, but that they are all reasonably well shaped. The same goes with skins. Although it is important to consider if the skin is mapped for the type of head you have, for most part, BOM skins are either EvoX compatible or not. If your head is EvoX, you will likely want EvoX skin. However, I chose to show 3 skins that are marketed for Lelutkas's Avalon head, all on the Lel Sugar head. The same shape and head are used with different skins to vary the avatar's appearance, and none of these skins were marketed for Sugar. Hopefully, some of this will prove useful. If you want to get more information about specifics like particular mesh bodies or terms used in this video, YouTube has a lot of specific resources you may find useful. For those of you making a new avatar or just looking to update, I urge you to demo the options out there and find what works best for you. That's all for now. Have a great day. Bye.